Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Grizzly Bear Sims YouTube channel, and welcome back to Green River. This is episode number 30, and it just so happens to be Farm Sim 19 Eve. Today is Monday, the 19th of November. Now, I say it's the eve of Farm Sim, the release of Farm Sim 19, because for folks in from maybe in Europe, the date 19th of November is officially the eve of the release of Farm Sim 19. It is possible that those of you here in the U.S. excuse me, it is possible that those of you here in the U.S. Might actually get the release of Farm Sim 19 today sometime, maybe later this afternoon. That is the way it happened in the release of 17. We got that on Monday afternoon, sort of after the date changed in Europe, because obviously that's how things work. But now, of course, there's no guarantee that that's going to be how Giants are going to do things for this release. Interestingly enough, I believe sort of the last thing that recently came out might have been from SES Software. Maybe it was the Oregon DLC or whatever. That essentially, they did not release that until well into the official business day European time, which essentially forced that release to be quite late. Anyway, so we'll see if that's the case. I am, as you are watching this, I will be driving across miles and miles of Texas, heading towards the central Texas area, which is where my parents live and where I'll be spending Thanksgiving down there. And so that's what I'm going to be doing while you're watching this episode. Hopefully, I didn't even touch that stop sign and it just fell over. But anyway, so as you can see, we are going to do a little wheat harvesting. Just kidding, of course. We are actually in our Ropa sugar beet harvester. I think we're going to knock that sign down as well. That's okay. We like, you know what I like to say, we like to keep our county and state officials or country officials or whatever, we like to keep them employed. And part of doing that is giving them something to do on occasion by coming around and putting the signs and stuff up that we knock down. So since we're not worried about soil compaction because we've pulled that mod out the previous episode, I'm just going to go ahead and drive across this field. It's only been cultivated, it has not been seeded. This was our second wheat field. These were our two canola fields here, which we harvested a few episodes ago. And then we're going to be coming up to our two sunflower fields that we just finished harvesting, and then to our sugar beet field. Now, we are several game days ahead of where we were in the previous episode with episode number 29. It took a couple of fast forwarding through game days, keeping the animals nice and happy and everything, to reach a point to where our sugar beets could be harvested, and B, where we had dry soil conditions. So as you can see, we've got a heck of a weather forecast there ahead of us. And well, there's just not much that we can do about that other than just to try to get on with the work that we need to do, get this done, get the sugar beets in, and then we'll just have to see what we're going to do as far as our soybeans are concerned. Our soybeans still, unless something changed, and let's just look at that really quick together, unless something changed, I don't think our soybeans are ready yet. No, they're not. They're still in the green state. So 27 and 28 are our two soybean fields, but we can remove the tops and harvest our sugar beets here, and that's what we're going to get started doing here. This is, of course, the first time that I have used this Ropa machine. This was part of the DLC that came out some time ago. I honestly, I've already forgotten kind of what all was included with this DLC, and but here we are. We're officially able to use it, and I've used a few other pieces from this DLC pack, but never really got around to using the Ropa mouse, I think it was called. Didn't get around to using that, so that's a bit unfortunate. Now, I'm not sure if I can empty into that John Deere auger wagon. We're going to try it and see if we can do that, but not sure if that is going to function the way that I think it might. So we'll find out together. You guys probably already know the answer to that question, if I can or if I can't or whatever. But obviously, I don't think we're going to get this field 100% harvested before the end of this episode, just simply because the working width, obviously, of these types of harvesters are quite small. But this is a small field, and of course, we didn't want to punish ourselves by creating a massive field of sugar beets or potatoes, as far as that goes. So we did stick with one of the smaller fields, and we planted enough that I think would suffice to get our virtual farming enterprise going for the to go for the calendar year. Obviously, our sugar beets are one of the main integral parts of our pig food operation, so that's why we essentially are growing sugar beets, not to sell, but to essentially run the pig food operation. So I certainly hope everyone is having a wonderful day today. Again, as you're watching this, hopefully in a few hours, you'll have access to FarmSim 19. The coffee this morning is very good, and in real time, in the real world, as I'm currently sitting today, it is officially Veterans Day. It is the 11th day of the 11th month. It's not quite yet the 11th hour, at least where I am. But of course, I spoke about this in the previous episode, about this being the 100th anniversary of the ending of World War I, and of course that is a great thing, and it's a great moment and everything in time. I'm going to cut us a headland across here just because I'm kind of thinking that some of those trees are going to give us a problem at some point in time, and hopefully I've got enough space in the tank here to hold all that. But anyway, it is Sunday, and yesterday, Saturday, being the 10th of November, that's how that works, of course, we did a little bit, because this is a 3-day weekend for us. My company, Veterans Day, which of course the official or the observed day as far as government offices and such will occur tomorrow, Monday. So the Postal Service will be closed, and other companies that want to observe Veterans Day, that is the day that they're going to obviously take off. And so we're off that day. And I think what I'll do is just trying to save the sugar beets, because I don't think I can back up there. We'll try it and see. So it's a 3-day weekend for us, for my wife and I, since we both work at the same company. It's a 3-day weekend. So we have today, yesterday, started doing a little bit of work in the house, some honeydew projects. If you followed my channel for any length of time, you know that kind of 2018 has kind of been the year, and maybe part of 2017. I hung some doors and stuff back in 2017, the late period of 2017. But you know that we did the fireplace, retiling. We retiled the entranceway, hallway, and we've been kind of slowly walking and moving our way around the house and getting rooms painted and such as that. We're not selling the house or anything of that nature. We're not getting ready to sell the house. We are essentially just doing this for our own enjoyment, because that's what one does if you want to be able to enjoy things. And So yesterday we tackled what we call the big wall, um, and it's got two large windows. The ceiling, the height from the floor to the ceiling is something like 18 feet or something. It's a massive wall, and it's angled shape, so it kind of goes from 18 feet on the high side down to about an 8-foot ceiling or so. So it's kind of diagonal across, and so we started on that, basically getting the windows, getting the two big windows ready to caulk and getting that ready to paint the wall and everything. So we got that done, and let me go ahead and let's see, let's pipe out on this, and then we're just going to go down and get the John Deere this way, and then come down and see if we can fill this auger wagon. I don't know if you can, and to be quite honest, this might not be 100% realistic. Of course, I know that there was, or I believe that there was a piece of equipment that one could get to handle the auger wagon function for Sugarbeets, but we did not choose to get that. We'll find out if this works. If it doesn't, it's no big deal. It's not going to wreck anything, and it looks like it's gonna work. Maybe something's moving in there, but nothing's coming out yet. So I'm thinking this isn't gonna work. All right, not a big deal. We have the technology. We also have the patience to just go up and do something else, which is we'll just go and park this guy right here. Not a problem. And then we'll just do this, and it'll put us in our semi. And hopefully this will work. I don't want to have to go and purchase anything necessarily new just to be able to accomplish this task. But this should work just fine here. Anyway, so we've been tackling this big wall and the windows and everything. And so today, for Sunday afternoon, what we're going to do, kind of after we get moving and everything, there we go. After we get moving and everything, after I get this recording session done and whatnot, we're going to get started with that wall again, get it painted, and then I believe the next step will just be the window trim after paint dries. But on the wall, paint dries on the wall fairly quick, and hopefully we'll have to see. I'm not sure what the wife has specifically in mind for Monday, tomorrow. I'm kind of hoping not a whole lot, really, just simply because, well, since I have become north of the age of 50, these little projects that my wife and I do are kind of tough on me. It's the wrong button, didn't mean to do that. Are a little tougher on me than they used to be before. And so, okay, come on. I know I need to unfold you, but I hit the wrong button. I said I hit the wrong button. Okay, relax. There we go. Okay. These kind of projects sort of take their toll on me a little more than what they used to, perhaps did. And so we'll do a little in-cab harvesting here and see how this works out. And so I kind of need a day, or at least a half day. So hopefully it's not going to be a full involved day if we do anything on Monday, just so that I have a little bit of R&R time and get ready to go back into the office on Tuesday. And of course it's a short week. We're only working Tuesday through Friday, and then next weekend I'm sure will more or less be devoted to kind of getting the house ready for leaving. Us guys, we don't really understand that concept so much, I suppose, but for the women in our lives, I'm guessing that's an important thing. So for me, my idea of making sure the house is ready for us to be gone for any length of time is just to make sure that we don't have any toilets that are running, and um, obviously with it being the winter time, we've already had cold enough weather where I've picked up the water hoses and stuff like that. But I would have normally disconnected water hoses. I would have just ensured that things were more or less in working order. But for the women in our lives, they like to make sure that the house is nice and clean and everything. I think it more has to do, or it has to do more with the experience of coming back home, coming back to the house after being away for about a week, and making sure that it's nice and clean when they come back home. I will admit I don't fully understand women's logic and all that kind of stuff, but hey, I suppose that's okay. Um, I'm not a woman, so anyway. We don't need to see those Windows notifications, and it looks like I left looks like I left a nice row of sugar beets across there. But oh well. Anyway, let's see. We're about halfway through this episode, halfway through the recording of this episode, and yeah, like I said, we're not going to get anywhere near to getting this field harvested at all. It's going to take quite a bit of off-camera time to get this done, with a small working width, and even though it's a relatively small field, it's still quite a long field, and so it's just going to take a little while to get that done. But that's okay. I've got time. Now, I've been sort of off camera. I have been playing the brand new Mercury Farms map that came out just a few days ago. And I know I said a few episodes ago, I had essentially been avoiding watching map reviews, map first impressions, and stuff like that about these maps. But I began hearing, wow, I really missed a lot of sugar beets there. Perhaps I need to do this and help myself out here. But anyway, as I kind of talk along with this, just bear with me. But I had been hearing a lot of good things about this map, and of course I sort of knew that from what I'd been reading on some of the Discord channels that I belong to, I knew that it was proposed to be released a couple of months ago. It was submitted to Giants a few months ago, and I think the whole intention of it was for it to be released probably either in the late September or maybe very early October time frame. But it had some issues, and Giants kicked it back, and kind of that back and forth for a little while, as things sometimes happen. And so it just came out, and I at least was disciplined enough to say there's no way that, even though it's a fantastic map and it's got wonderful functionality and it's got a lot of it really does have functionality that we are hoping that we will see once we start diving into FarmSim 19. It's got there's some flexibility in things. If you don't want to do all 4 animal types, cows, pigs, chickens, and sheep, well, you don't have to, and you don't have to build those areas out. And if you want to use those areas for something else, if you want to plow those areas up and plant something, plant grass or plant a crop or whatever, you can certainly do that. You've got the ability to do that, as I'm not sitting here paying attention to what I'm supposed to be doing, and we're running out of stuff there. So you have that flexibility, and I think that's cool. I think that's I think obviously that is one of the elements that we're really most excited about with FarmSim 19 is being able to place our farm elements wherever we want them to be, and everything. And so they've sort of Alien Jim is the map author for Mercury Farm, and he has built those elements into it. So that's kind of what I've been doing, sort of, like I said, off camera. And it looks like this is full, so we need to carry this and dump this into our silo. Um, and that may very well wrap the episode up. So unfortunately, we only got about three rows or so harvested, but we'll see how it goes with time. But anyway, that's what I've been doing, and I've been enjoying it. I played with. I've got the seasons mod active, but I've got the number of days down to 6. That way I can kind of get through things. I'm not really doing animals on it, so I can sort of fast forward and get through the growth cycles and everything fairly quick if I want to. And I'm really enjoying it. I'm really enjoying what he's done there, but I'm not going to get. That's why I didn't want to start a series on it, because I know what's going to happen is, even though there are no rules that say that you have to stop playing Farm Sim 17 when 19 comes out, there's certainly no rules for us YouTube folks that say that as soon as the new version of a game comes out that we've got to stop creating episodes on the previous version or whatever. There's no rules that say that. However, I'm smart enough to know that what viewers want is, viewers want to see the new thing. They want to see the new game platform. They want to see Farm Sim 19. Um, I'm gonna record another few episodes. I don't know how many exactly it will be. It's probably going to be at least 2 more on GreenRiver, and that will probably take us past. Obviously, that's going to take us past the release of Farm Sim 19, because it officially comes out tomorrow. So that's going to take us past that release date. But having said that, I know that there'll be a few people that will watch this series all the way out, because again, it's only going to go a couple of more episodes. And then we'll be done with it. But if I had started a Let's Play on Mercury Farm, even playing at 6 game days per season, to do it justice, it would be at least probably 20 or more episodes to get everything done, even if we took the approach of not doing animals, where we could fast forward a little bit more and it's not as much work to keep them alive and everything. We would still be at 18, 20 episodes, something like that. And but I've just enjoyed playing it, and I think what it is going to do for me is, I think that I'll probably be done with this map in the next couple of days from where I'm sitting now. So maybe like by even Monday, or today's Sunday, so maybe even by Monday afternoon, I may have already recorded everything out for the rest of this Let's Play. And then I'll continue playing on Mercury Farm, off camera, of course, and then basically be ready to come in and get going with 19. But I think that what you guys will see on the channel is, you guys will probably see, obviously you're going to see GreenRiver play out, and I'm going to release those episodes on a schedule of Monday, Wednesday, Friday, because that's sort of what works for me. And and then there may or may not be a gap of time, because obviously I'm going to get back from Texas on the Sunday, maybe Saturday night, but definitely by lunch on Sunday of Thanksgiving weekend. Now, obviously, Monday is a work day for me, and I will need to go into the office and work and all that kind of stuff. So I suppose what I'm trying to say here is, it could be a couple of days into that week before you start seeing episodes from me, simply because it's going to take me some time to get to sort of get up to speed with 19 and figure out what I'm going to do. Of course, I already kind of know what I'm going to do, but get all that going. So just be patient. And I know I'm leaving some crop there on the left-hand side, but I sort of figured that I needed to get the GPS mod set up on a track. Otherwise, I was going to leave a whole lot more on the field than what I have been doing, because you kind of got to sacrifice at least one row to get it straight, and then we can come back in and clean that up later. So anyway, that's sort of the game plan. At least I think that will work for me. We'll find out, and hopefully you guys will just understand that we up or down. Hopefully you guys will just understand, and everybody will be happy, and then we'll come back and we'll get started with 19 just as soon as we possibly can. But definitely enjoy the remaining time with 17 along with me here on GreenRiver. And I've got some things I'm going to talk about in the next at least 2 episodes or so. I think it will go at least 2 more episodes, maybe 3. But I've got some things that I want to talk about that will I think you'll find interesting, or at least my opinions of things with regards to Farm Sim 17, like some of my favorite maps and some of my favorite mods and things like that. So I think hopefully it'll be entertaining enough for you to continue to watch, even though you guys are going to be all busy on your own Farm Sim 19 virtual farms and everything, and so that's all fine. That's all fine and good too. So I think I'll go ahead and grab me a shot here of our Ropa sugar beet harvester, and just kind of spend the rest of the next 30 seconds or 60 seconds or so saying thank you so much for watching my episodes. I appreciate you guys tuning in as frequently as you do, as frequently as I release episodes, which is always not on a very good schedule. At least it's been this way, at least for this year. I'm going to try to do better, as I've said before, but obviously, those other real world things will get in the way sometimes. But I've got a very understanding audience, and I really greatly appreciate you all very, very much. So really, until the next episode, and that will be obviously episode number 31, and you should see that on Wednesday, the 21st of November, just right before Thanksgiving. I appreciate you watching this episode, and come back then, and we'll get this series wrapped up in the next 2, maybe 3 episodes. We'll get started on the soybeans just as soon as we get this done, and as soon as they come in. That is, of course, let me bring up the weather forecast again. Look at that weather forecast. There's a possibility we might not get it done. So that's kind of why I'm saying I don't really know how many episodes will remain of this, because if I can't get those soybeans in, then obviously we can't get those soybeans in. So probably not a whole lot to do other than maybe just kind of wrap things up. So I suppose it could be that there could be like maybe one more episode, but I would really like to maybe do 2 more on it. Of course, episode 30, this is episode 30, that's a good stopping point, but I will at least endeavor to do 1 or 2 more, and then that will kind of get me in a place where when I do get back from Thanksgiving, there won't be too much of a gap between when you'll see episodes. So anyway, take care of yourselves and also of each other. God bless you all. Bye-bye.